You are listening to the For Flourishing Sake podcast by Frederica Roberts. Welcome to episode 38. Back in March, when here in the UK we were still really adjusting to having recently gone into lockdown and to all the changes that Covid19 was making to our lives, I hosted a mental health and wellbeing panel with a fantastic lineup of experts from education, from psychology, from public health, all of whom have a brilliant interest and expertise in wellbeing. And in past episodes, I've shared little snippets from that panel, and today I'm going to share another one. Now, this one is very short and sweet, but I thought it was particularly relevant this week because in the UK, we're in the middle of a lot of trying to understand some slight relaxation of lockdown measures and what may or may not happen on the 1st of June in terms of some children potentially returning to school. And I know that in other countries around the world, there are also various levels of relaxation of lockdown that have been happening, are happening, and various staggered processes for getting children back to school. So this is a really uncertain period, and all of this has been particularly uncertain and challenging for all of us. But after a while, I suppose, when you've been in a very rigid lockdown, you kind of get used to that new normal, you get used to what your new routines are, you get used to how to live like that. And then when changes come again and there is a little bit of a relaxation to that, there's all sorts that comes into it. There is fear, there is worry, there is uncertainty, there's having to adjust to new processes, having to create new processes as well. So lots and lots to unpack, lots going on. And that's why I thought that this particular little snippet from Dr Caren Baruch-Feldman was particularly relevant. So have a listen to what she has to say, and I hope you find it useful.
One of the things that I felt like I needed to do, especially for my son, it's been very disappointing because he was studying abroad and he was looking so forward to studying abroad in Florence, and that sort of had to end, is sort of like to grieve, like I think Kelly mentioned, and to, I call it, accept the suck. So like, until he accepted the suck, nothing else was going to happen. And I think that sometimes, I think as parents, as problem solvers, we sometimes want to skip that part and just kind of go to the problem solving. But I think it's really important to help our kids know that this is a crisis, that it does suck, and to kind of be able to kind of let that emotion go, or have that warble, I guess you call it. And then I think people are more effective about being able to problem solve.
Thank you very much, Caren. That was brilliant. Accept the suck. That's definitely something that we need to embrace at the moment. I will be back again with the For Flourishing Sake podcast next week, as always, every Monday at 7 a.m. UK time. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and for flourishing sake, have a great week. Thank you for tuning in to the For Flourishing Sake podcast. I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and I'd be really grateful if you'd spread the word. If you haven't already, remember to subscribe to this free podcast via your favourite podcasting app so you never miss an episode. For Flourishing Sake is available on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts and Deezer. If you'd like to get in touch with questions or comments, or to contribute to a future episode, please contact me via Twitter at FlourishingEd. You can also leave comments on individual episode pages at forflourishingsake.com. I look forward to hearing from you.